Coming to you live from the city that never sleeps, New York City. It's Up Late with Johnny Potenza.
Why, hello there. How's everybody doing? It's Johnny P. And welcome to my virtual Up Late with Johnny Potenza show. Hope everybody's doing well and enjoying this nice weather. Summer's right around the corner and I can't wait. But tonight, we have a real special guest calling in from Hollywood, California. A good friend of ours. He's an actor and a writer, Mr. Jeremy Luke. You've seen him in Mob City, The Irishman, Small Shots, The Networker. And that's just to name a few. So let's call him in and see what Jeremy's up to. There he is, Jeremy Luke.
Johnny P, I made it.
Thank you, man. Thank you. Calling in from LA, California. Thank you for giving us a call and Zooming with us. What's going on?
Thanks, man. How you doing?
Hanging in there. I just got over.
How's COVID treating you?
I'm just going to say, I just got over the COVID like 2.5 weeks ago, but I'm getting a lot of the side effects. It's been bothering me lately. I didn't feel good today, but I was like, I had to do the Zoom with you. And I don't know, it's been bothering my lungs a little, my sinuses, you know?
Your sinuses?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, no shit. Sorry to hear that. You have your taste? You have your taste?
I got everything back. Everything is back. I get a lot of energy one day, and the next day I'm exhausted. You know?
Oh, wow.
So I just
sounds like the flu, right?
Yeah, exactly. So I just got to take it easy.
Yeah.
So what's going on? What have you been doing through this whole time with this whole coronavirus, the lockdown?
Yeah, I mean, we're on a year now. So the past year, it's been kind of crazy. I haven't really done much acting, a little bit, more auditioning, and then I started boxing.
Oh, really?
Not
cool.
Professional boxing. I'm not like getting in a ring, but I've been boxing, backyard boxing with some friends to try to just, do another workout, do stuff,
It's good. It's good cardio. Plus, it relieves a lot of stress.
It relieves the best thing for me is it relieves stress. Like I'm like a ball of stress.
Me too.
And I'm really trying not to be. So when but we've been doing like these virtual reality. Virtual reality is becoming like a big thing, but you put on this whole goggles thing, and then you box like certain characters.
Oh,
It's almost like playing Mike Tyson's Punch Out on Nintendo, but you're literally moving and you got a box. It's exhausting.
I got to check that out.
Yeah, I did 11 rounds today. It was crazy.
Well, that's good. I was stressed all day. I actually played the drums, so I was on the drums about a half hour ago before I got on the Zoom with you just to relieve a little stress, and it felt good. I've been stressed over this whole freaking coronavirus lately. It sucks.
Yeah, what have you been doing the past year?
I've been doing construction, but last year, this time, they shut the TV stations down and the public access stations. So it's a year that they shut us down. I just started going again after a 2-year break, and I'd be on my second season right now. I would have had the weight shredded. I would have been primed again. And this is what it is. I started fucking around with the Zooms.
Yeah.
Didn't like it in the beginning, and then I jumped back on it, learned a couple of tips, and here we are with this. I mean, talking with you and just meeting new friends and contacts in the entertainment business and just practicing. Actually, this is going to be turning into a podcast eventually. So,
is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's good. Like, the whole thing with this whole thing, I mean, it's taught me to just be adaptable, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
It seems like Zoom's not going away anytime soon.
No, and I didn't think I was going to get coronavirus. You know, it ain't going to hit me, and then it did. But so it is what it is. So, like, talk to me. Like, you're from Staten Island. You were born on Staten Island, and you actually went to Staten Island College, correct?
I went to 5 high schools in 4 years on Staten Island.
5?
Well, I went to one in Florida. I went to Farrell,
okay.
Curtis. I went to Richmond Town Prep.
What happened? They threw you out of everywhere?
Yeah, I was getting thrown out. I wasn't like fighting, or I wasn't fighting or anything. I was just distracted. I didn't get good grades. I gotta wear my glasses. I wasn't getting good grades at all. I didn't know what I wanted to do. Oh, nice glasses, man.
Love them, right?
Yeah, you look good. We look like we're cousins,
man.
Yeah.
And Turbo.
I was doing really bad in school, and I didn't know what I wanted to do, and I went to college at Staten Island, and not really. I mean, I took classes. It's not because I didn't have a purpose, right? So I didn't have a really reason to be there. I was taking like philosophy and like, it didn't really interest me. And I was promoting nightclubs on Staten Island. This was like 99, 98, 99, but there was like these places. Silo was the big one, and then the Haunted Cafe all over Bay Street, Club Quest on Bay, all that Thunderground, all that kind of stuff.
So you were on the other side. We were doing the rock scene, the Wave, the Paramount, St. George Theater, SRO, the Red Spot.
SRO, yeah. You're a little bit older than me. That's what we were like. We were doing the same places, but they were just called different names at the time.
Yeah, but we were active big. The 90s were great. My band NYB, 95 to like 2005, but mainly like 95 to 2003 was hot down there,
What were you doing, like rock night and stuff?
We were an original band, so we used to do our own songs. We had a couple of CDs out. We used to, play a set of our originals. So we'd have a set price. And then like the places like the Wave or the Red Spot, we used to open up for like big acts. We had a lot of fun in the caves. You remember the caves?
Yeah, they called it the Thunderground.
Oh, so that's what you're talking about. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I left when I was 22. I left to come out here in 2000. Like I went to college at Staten Island. I just basically took some bullshit classes, and then I started taking acting class. That's where I started. I started taking acting classes, and that's where things started turning.
Who was your teacher? Was it Kruger?
Norman Kruger.
Dude, I went to college 10 years later, and I took production and acting at CSI, and Kruger was my teacher.
Get out of here.
He was great.
Yeah, he was a nice guy. He was a sweetheart. He taught us a lot. He was my first acting teacher.
Wow, man.
Professor Norman Kruger. And that's so funny that you were there.
Whole world, right?
Uh-huh.
So now listen, you moved to LA, and then you started getting a lot of, as I read, a lot of appearance parts in a lot of these TV shows. Desperate Housewives. I used to love that show.
Yeah.
I was working on that show. Who'd you do a scene with?
Oh, my girlfriend, Eva Longoria.
No way. Are you serious or no? You
what? No, I wish. What are you talking about?
I would love to date her.
Oh my God. Girlfriend in my mind.
I was just jealous.
And she was really nice too. It's always nice when you meet somebody who's really cool and sweet,
Yeah.
She was really nice, but she's beautiful. But yeah, I did a scene with her that day. I remember she had like problems with her boyfriend, and then I played some kid who was in counseling with his family. And she's like, that's my boyfriend. She was in a circle with us in some counseling session. She's like, that's my boyfriend.
Now listen, give us a little background. Tell us how you went from here to there, and what led you here.
So I was doing like, sorry, I gotta wear my glasses because I'm trying to wear them, but my vision is like kind of not great. I'm gonna actually put this on speaker view so I don't have to look at myself. Wait, let me see. Speaker view. Oh, great. There we go. Now I don't need my glasses. I was doing these. I was doing scene. We were in acting class. I was in acting class, and then I was going to like HB Studio in Manhattan, and I had a friend named Jerry who was in class with me at College of Staten Island, who actually, you know him. He's Jerry Ferrara. He was.
Oh, really? Turtle.
Right.
I love Entourage.
Yeah,
Great show.
Yeah, he went out here before, and then he did like this thing called the IMTA, and me and him were close. And I was like, what's the IMTA? And he told me, and then he got like an agent out of this. It was like the International Model Talent Association. It was like kind of like a casting call. So I did that. I wound up doing that too, and that's how I wound up in LA.
They have the Entourage podcast out now. I don't know if you know about it.
I heard about it. I haven't heard it yet.
It's pretty popular. I've been listening to it because I loved Entourage. Entourage is one of my top shows on HBO, and Kevin Dillon is one of the hosts. With Connolly's running it. Action Park Media.
I know Kevin. Yeah.
So and Doug Ellen. So it's actually doing good. It's entertainment. I mean, pretty much Kevin Dillon's the funniest one out of all of them, pretty much. You know.
Who's on it? Kevin and Doug Ellen.
Well, it was Doug Ellen. It says Doug Ellen and Kevin Dillon with Kevin Connolly. You know. So, but it's funny.
Not Kevin. Oh wait, I'm talking about Kevin. I know Kevin Connolly. Okay. Yeah. Right on.
Yeah, man. So you know.
I'm gonna check it out. I gotta listen.
No, it's good. You gotta listen to it right from the beginning.
I gotta catch that, and I gotta catch The Sopranos.
The Sopranos is very good. Both of them, they're on fire. They're good, and
yeah, you start finding your ground and all. Like anything else, you start finding out how everything works and all that kind of thing.
You know, when people talk about podcasts, this is that. It's technically new age, old school radio. Because think about it, from day one, radio. What do people do? They listen to the fucking radio.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, it's becoming a big. I just did my friend's podcast last week, but it's becoming a big thing. Like podcasts. You ever been on Clubhouse?
No. Is that app?
Yeah, there's a new thing called Clubhouse. So basically, it's a podcast. It could be a podcast, so it could be me and you talking, and then we have an audience of however many people listening to us talking about The Sopranos or whatever.
Your buddy Joey Russo's in an independent movie you did, Small Shots. I watched it recently a couple of weeks ago. I enjoyed it very much. How did you guys meet? You said a great chemistry.
So Joey Russo, just so you guys know, Joey Russo he's like the same height as me. He's 5'5", Italian guy from Jersey. Me and him, we actually met because we dated the same girl 3 years apart.
Wow.
Yeah, and I think Joey thought I had a problem with him or something, and I was like, "Oh, congrats! I heard you with Maria." And then we squashed. We didn't squash. There wasn't anything to squash, but we were just like, we were cool then, and then we wound up like just talking and being friendly, and then like people from New York and stuff. When you're out in New York, you migrate towards each other, So we just wound up getting an apartment together on Beechwood Drive in Hollywood. This is like 11 years ago. Wow. We got an apartment together. I was dating this girl, Angelica, at the time, who thought it was really funny the way that we lived because there was a lot of screaming and yelling, and we just like two guys that were just like bachelors, You
must have had a lot of fun, right?
Oh, we had so much fun. We had that was probably some of the best times of my life, and his, I'm sure. We would just do it. We were very creative, and we started making short films, which was called Turbo and Joey.
Yes, Turbo and Joey.
Which turned into a TV show that's on Amazon Prime right now called Small Shots.
Okay.
Two guys from Staten Island who are huge Scorsese fans trying to make it into Hollywood.
Now, listen, what I heard, and through the rumors, through the grapevine that we know, is it true that Scorsese and De Niro actually saw the film, and that's how you guys got cast in The Irishman?
Yeah. So on the show, we do Justin Shack, really good director. Justin Shack directed it and wrote it. On the show, we did a reenactment of the movie Casino, where Joe Pesci and Robert De Niro meet in the desert, and I played the Robert De Niro character, and Joey played the Joe Pesci character, and it was shot for shot, everything. We were literally in the desert. And when the Irishman, what's that?
Look, I was gonna say, was it in the desert? Because it looked great.
Yeah, it was in the desert. It was the whole thing, and that was actually in the show Small Shot. We were making an audition video for Martin Scorsese.
Mm-hmm.
That was our audition video. In the show Small Shots, I'm not going to tell you what happened at the end, if we got the job or not for Martin Scorsese. So in real life, what happened was, this is kind of very meta. So in real life, what happened was Martin Scorsese, my agent's manager sent the tape. Our audition tape was actually the scene from Small Shots, where I played Robert De Niro and Joey played Joe Pesci. And they went over the moon for it, and they cast us in The Irishman.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah, it was pretty. Yeah, it was like a dream come true kind of thing.
Now with Jersey Boys, you two fellows were both in that movie. We should have talked about that before, but tell me, how did that come about?
That came about first. We were doing Turbo and Joey.
Mm-hmm.
The same thing we did. Joey played Joe Pesci in Jersey Boys, and I played some other character named Donnie. But what happened with that, before we did Small Shots, we did a short film. Sounds complicated, which we did a short film called Turbo and Joey, which got us Small Shots. In the short film, we did the Robert De Niro, Joe Pesci meeting in the desert. Clint Eastwood saw it.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, Clint Eastwood saw it, went over the moon, and Clint Eastwood's casting director saw it, Jeffrey Micklot. They went over the moon, cast us in Jersey Boys.
That's what I'm saying. You never know. You got to throw caution to the wind. And like just that's a regular like Hollywood story. What you said right there. It's that you're beginning to the road ahead of you, and people don't realize it. From the people from the outside in that are not in the entertainment business. They're like, all right, they're going this and that. They're making all this money. The more you get, the more you got to work, and you know that better than anybody. And the harder you got to work, and the next good movie you get, you got to even work harder to get to the next movie. But it's like it's a grind, and it's a labor of love, and it's like if you don't have it in you, you just can't do it. I mean,
if you don't have it in you, if you don't really love it, and if you're not having fun, it's not going to work out. It's a tough business, and if you don't really
1,000%. I think Johnny Carson, all those guys have the best job.
They did have the most fun job. Yeah. No, you're right. I mean, I've often thought about like stand-up comedy would be something that would be great.
So now let's listen. Let's talk about a good mutual friend of ours, producer actor Steve Stanulis.
Oh, Steve! I love Steve. I actually texted him like 2 days ago. Yeah, I was in his movie, The Networker.
That's what I was just going to say. The Networker, great film.
We played brothers, me and him, and then there was William Forsythe played our father.
Another good friend, I love William Forsythe.
Has he been on the show yet?
I had him on. He was on my 9th season when he was in that movie, and I shouldn't even be promoting you, Kamal. Laugh, Kill, and Laugh. It was actually a good film. William started it with our friend Larry Romano, Vic Carluccio. So he came.
I would think I'm one of Kamal's movies too.
Oh, Brutal. Kamal's a good guy. He's a good egg. He's a little hard boiled. But talk about.
I like the way you still call it. Right, get out.
Yeah.
I've heard that.
Right, get out. Or when I say it's mint, the kids look at me like, "What does that mean?"
Nobody knows what mint is.
Like that girl's mint.
What about Mo?
Listen, you're just talking about Mo. We just lost a guy we'll get back to the network. We just lost a guy in the neighborhood. His name was Tommy George, but he used to talk like this. He's, "Hey, Mo, what's going on? Johnny P, what's up, Mo? You okay, Mo?" And every other word out of his mouth was Mo. "I see you later, Mo." And,
everybody was doing the Mo.
So talk about the network. Tell me about the whole process of it, and how was it working with Steve?
It was I think I got it because Steve knew that I was doing. I think Steve saw that I did the movie Don John, and I think Steve saw it and liked me in it or whatever. And I was getting I was really hot at the time. And then, they offered me the role, and I was like, yeah. And then, we rehearsed. We had fun. We had a good time. He would pick me up every day. We'd go to set. Poor Steve was like, had so much on his plate. He's so much on his plate during that. I'll never forget that.
I'm going to go back a little. You did a lot of plays, 20 plus plays.
Yeah.
Dabble with plays, or you?
I do. I do now I do a play. I try to do a play every year.
Good.
Just because of play. I mean, most actors in LA don't do plays, or some do. I like to do a play because it's like, first of all, I'm pretty good at producing them, but I also like having as an actor, you get to do it with a play. You get to do a beginning, middle, and end.
Yeah.
And you get to do a rehearsal period, so you can really immerse yourself in something. When you do a movie or a television show, it's like you come in, it's quick, 1, 2, 3. Yeah. When you watch a TV show, we all know this, but we don't really know. But everything's cut, action, cut. So it's very choppy doing a movie or a television. It's not as gratifying as it's not. It's almost like playing live music, right? Mm-hmm. It's probably the difference between playing live music in a studio when you're making an album, and then playing live music with everybody there.
What it is? It's two different animals, and any real actor will tell you. You want to be an actor, do plays, and that's the best training.
It's I like it. I mean, I just love it. I think it's so much fun, and it's so much you really get to tear apart a script and immerse yourself in something. And, it's a good way. It's, a lot of times auditioning. So I audition a lot, right? So when you're auditioning for a TV show or movie, it's not as leisurely. It's not as leisurely with the rehearsal process. It's pressure.
So listen, is there anything that you're doing now, this last year and coming before?
You know what we did this year? We made a show on Instagram and on YouTube called Bada Bing Bada Zoom.
I heard about that. Talk about it.
It's about mob guys that have Zoom meetings during the pandemic.
Oh yeah. It's on YouTube, or is it just on Instagram?
It's on YouTube. It's on Instagram. I think it's on Vimeo. I think it's on all that kind of stuff.
I'm gonna write this down. I want to check it out.
You'll like it. You'll have a good time. It's Bada Bing Bada Zoom. We do one episode where a guy gets made on Zoom. We whack a guy on Zoom. We we have a sit down. The first one is a sit down on Zoom. We whack a guy on Zoom. So it's silly. It's just just fun entertainment. Just not trying to take ourselves too seriously.
So now, what came out this year? You recently released a couple of movies or shorts this year, right?
I did a video game. The video game business is it's a really big thing. I actually never really had tons of. I have people that follow me and whatever, but I have a grip of teenagers that follow me now because I did this video game called Mafia Definitive Edition.
Okay.
It takes place in the 30s, and I'm basically like an avatar.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm like the second lead. There's a lot of the second lead of the game. It took us. I went to the Czech Republic for it. It took us 4 months to shoot it.
That's cool, man.
Yeah. But anybody who's watching who knows the game knows I'm Paulie. But it was really it was a big deal in the video game world. A lot of people don't know about it, but it's a big, pretty. Actually, that's a poster right there.
All my nieces and nephews, they're all gamers. I'm not a gamer.
They know it, Mafia. Once you say that,
Mafia,
and I played Paulie, they'll know right off the jump. So that was a pretty big deal. It came out a couple of months ago.
Where can people find you? Website, social media?
I don't have a website. I'm on social media. Jeremy Luke, Luke, and 323, like my birthday, March 23rd. Okay. That's me. It's a black and white photo of me. I'm on there. I'm on Facebook, but I'm not really on Facebook much. You know, friends from Staten Island. Sometimes I'm more private on my Facebook. I'm on Twitter, but I don't even use that because Twitter's just bad news.
I canceled my Twitter because all the politic bullshit.
Fuck
Well,
Twitter.
I'm glad you took the time to talk to me. I appreciate it. And
Thanks, man. This was great. This was a lot of fun. I'd love to come back anytime.
no, you listen anytime, Mo.
I'd love to come back.
You got me saying Mo. I never said Mo in the interview.
Mo.
Because our boy Tommy George, God bless him, Tommy George, Mr. Mo.
God bless you, Tommy George. Mo.
Well, it's about that time we have to say goodbye. And I'd like to say special thank you again to Mr. Jeremy Luke for coming on, and hope to see him soon. Please follow us on Instagram, Facebook. Subscribe to our YouTube channel if you're not already. We have 3 YouTube channels. The main one is Johnny Potenza. And our website is www.johnnyptv.com. I'd like to thank everybody for tuning in and hope to see you next time. Good night.